when the president, if the president were to do it, it would actually have a tremendous impact on the protection of the country, its prosperity, and going forward, I think ultimately a history that's going to be to its benefit. Whereas if they don't do it, then it's not going to have that same kind of an impact.
What is your opinion on the role of Our Lady of Guadalupe, to whom the Philippines was recently consecrated by our president? So, as an intercessor for both personal and national protection?
Yeah, so even here in the United States, technically speaking, we are under her patronage. Although the bishops in this country in 1863 dedicated made Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception the patroness of our country. Nevertheless, Our Lady of Guadalupe is the Our Lady of the Americas. I mean, so it even covers here in the United States. So I think she plays actually a very key role. But I think that there's two things that she is very key in relationship to. The first is we need her to convert America, if nothing else, and I think other countries too. We need her to convert our countries like she did the Mexicans back in the day, where she converted, tens of millions of people in just a short period of time. So that's what we really do need, a conversion. And so I think she plays kind of a very key role in that regard. And also the fact that she is our patroness, we need her protection. And I think for not just for our country or the Americas, but even like the Philippines and the other countries, we need her protection there, because even if the population is like, say, 90% or 95% Catholic, it's the people for a lot of times from the outside of the countries that are trying to erode the Catholicity of the country, or trying to do things to bring the country down or to remove the Catholic culture from the country. And so we need her protection. We really just need her protection for that reason.
Do you think it will have a spiritual effect even if the president recite the consecration, not the bishop of that said of our country, Father Chad?
Yeah, I'm going to give you I'll give you two examples where if the president of the country does it, it's key. So the first is, originally Christ actually appeared to St. Margaret Mary and said that he wanted the King of France to consecrate France to his Sacred Heart. And ultimately, it was to avert the French Revolution, ultimately. Well, it was literally, because the King of France did not do it, it was literally 100 years to the week that they started cutting off the heads of the royalty in France, and then during the French Revolution. Now, to give a more positive example, so if you look at Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they sit on the same island just off the United States. They sit on the same island, and Haiti actually, the president of Haiti at the time actually dedicated his country to basically paganism, whereas the Dominican Republic is called the Dominican Republic precisely because it was consecrated to Christ's Sacred Heart. And so literally, if you look at the two countries, they're night and day, even though they're on the same, literally they're on the same island, but they're just very different within this context of their culture. The other thing is the number of natural disasters that have hit Haiti, such as earthquakes and that type of thing, specifically have not hit the Dominican Republic. So the point being is that when if the president were to do it, it would actually have a tremendous impact on the protection of the country, its prosperity, and going forward, I think ultimately a history that's going to be to its benefit. Whereas if they don't do it, then it's not going to have that same kind of an impact. Now, the bishops can actually do it, and it will also have a tremendous impact, because bishops will do because of the fact that they have authority over that spiritual authority over that territory. But if the president does it, then what will happen is that it will actually place it will place the country politically under our Lord, and that will have a much greater impact on the political side of things, even though
Oh.
the bishops can have an impact in that area as well.
How about Father Chad, if the president is not intentional in praying it, or maybe he's not doing a righteous life, it does it still had an impact?
Yes, it will, because of his office. In other words, it's because of his office as president that it's going to have its primary impact. It would be better if he was a holy man and he was actually trying to do this in a serious and in a devout way.
Yes.
But if he simply does it as the president with the intention of consecrating your country, for example, to the sacred, or to the Our Lady of Guadalupe or something like that, it will have its impact primarily. It would just be better if he was trying to lead a better life, but it will still have its impact.
He just did it last September 15, recently, Father. So this one. So,
oh yeah, that's good. That's really good.
And also the image was enthroned on his office.
Yeah, sometimes it takes time for people to see the impact that it actually has, and sometimes, because a lot of times what it'll do is it will avert bad things that would otherwise happen to the country. And so it's only a lot of times after the fact, like years later, they begin to realize once he did that, these bad things were averted or didn't happen. So sometimes it takes time to see the good things happening. So I tell people, be patient, but just be thankful that he did it.
Wow, thank you for that clarification, because many people are criticizing him because they say that he's not a righteous man.
Well, then what you need to do is do what we need to do in our country, which is you need to pray for the conversion of your own leaders. And you need to be praying for your own conversion, becoming holy yourself. And then God will give you actually leaders, and you might even give him the grace of conversion.
So, in line with that, Father Ripperger, the Philippines is facing growing tension with China in West Philippine Sea. I know you heard that news. So, what spiritual advice would you give to Filipino Catholics dealing with these external threats to national sovereignty?
Well, I think that putting it under the patronage or protection of Our Lady of Guadalupe is one of the first steps. But there's a couple of things I would recommend. Is just start asking Our Lady that regardless of what ends up occurring geopolitically, that Our Lady protect your country. The other thing is, which is something that can be done, that the people can actually start doing, is just asking Our Lady. I mean, if you could get the president to do this, it would be fantastic, or even get the bishops to do it. But is ask Our Lady to keep your country hidden from China. And by that, it means that what will happen is that she can actually move people to not want to, like, for example, invade your country or attack your country or things like that. She can actually move them to actually want to do other things rather than that. So you can actually pray that your country remain hidden from them. And so this would be something which I would really recommend. Given your proximity to China, it's something that I would start asking Our Lady for the protection of your country, place it under her patronage and her protection specifically, but then ask her to keep it hidden from China.
I heard it for the first time. So how to do that, Father? How is there certain prayers?
Well, the prayer is just simply ask, Our Lady of Guadalupe or whichever. Does Our Lady? Is there a title of Our Lady that is the patroness of the Philippines? Yeah.
Actually, it's two: Immaculate Conception and Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah, so that you can just ask, Our Lady of Guadalupe or the Immaculate Conception, keep our country hidden from China. That's all you literally have to say, is just ask her frequently.
We as citizen, we can also pray it every day, right, Father?
You can, yeah. There's a story, and this is actually, it's interesting because it has to do with China. There are 7 locations where Our Lady has actually appeared in China. And one of the locations that she actually appeared, it was during the 1600s. And what happened was there was a village that, if I remember right, the village was actually Catholic. And the emperor of China was sent in samurais to basically slay everybody in the village and wipe them out. And what happened is that as the samurais were coming up over the hill to go down into the city or town to basically to conquer it and to slay it, Our Lady appeared in front of them, and literally all of the samurais fled. Then what happened is that village became so known that actually a benefactress of mine was actually able to go to the town and actually see the place where Our Lady actually appeared. She said, even to this day, the communists leave that town alone. So what that's a sign of is that that Our Lady can protect, your town, your village, or even your like your state or your country. So ask her just to protect it and also to keep it hidden.
Wow, thank you for that very good and powerful advice, Father Chad. So every day we will pray for it. I'm sure those who will watch this interview and hope our leaders can able to watch this interview with you.
Right.
That's powerful. Hello mga ka-Faith, Brother Adrian Milag ulit to. And today, ini-invite ko kayo na maging part kayo ng aking supporters group sa aking Patreon. Ano nga ba tong Patreon? Itong Patreon, isa tong subscription channel. May membership fee dito, pero maliit lang naman. So dito sa Patreon, ina-upload ko yung mga naging past interview ko at yung magiging future interview ko. Diyan ko ina-upload lahat yan. After ng mga naging interview ko, ina-upload ko kaagad yan sa Patreon na unedited. So makikita nyo yung file na yan na very raw, kaya makikita nyo yung mga barokong English or may mga spoiler. So makikita nyo lahat yan dyan. Bakit ko ginagawa ito? Kasi lahat ng ginagawa ko dito sa social media evangelization ay lahat to may cost. Okay, yung mga ginagamit kong equipments, yung mga application, yung mga software, may cost po lahat yan. At mga ka-Faith, pag ikaw ay naging member dyan sa Patreon, matutulungan nyo ako na patuloy kong magawa itong social media evangelization na to at patuloy tayong makakapag-invite ng mga resource speaker na alam ko na sobrang makakatulong sa inyong Catholic faith. Yung mga lodi natin sa Catholic world, you know who they are. At I hear you. I am trying to reach out sa mga kilalang Catholic speaker na yan at mga resource person na yan. At even those people na alam natin na sobrang ma-inspire tayo sa kanilang Catholic faith. Kaya mga ka-Faith, alam nyo yung tulong nyo sa akin pag naging member kayo ng aking Patreon, it will have an eternal effect sa mga nanonood dito sa ating channel, sa aking channel. Siguro marami nagtatanong, Adrian, so ibig sabihin yung mga interview mo ay hindi namin mapapanood sa YouTube. Mapapanood nyo lahat yan ng libre. Kaso ang problema kasi, hindi ko siya kayang i-upload ng sabay-sabay kasi nga ini-edit ko pa yan. Kasi kaya nga pre-recorded. At yung pag-e-edit ay hindi siya madali. Medyo matagal siya. Sa dami ng mga na-interview ko, ay hindi ko siya kayang sabay-sabayin. Kasi nga, hindi lang naman ako content creator bilang isang Katoliko. Isa din akong magulang at asawa at marami pa akong role na ginagampanan. At itong ministry na ito, sa ngayon ay one-man team ako. Ako lahat ng gumagawa dito. Kaya in the future, kung maraming magsusupport sa akin dito sa Patreon, maybe we can hire editors or mga bagay, mga tasks na mas mapapadali yung ginagawa ko dito sa social media evangelization. So mga ka-Faith, I invite you to be part of my Patreon group at sobrang tatanawin ko yan ng utang na loob at sobrang matutulungan nyo ako sa ginagawa ko dito sa social media. Maraming salamat. God bless.